4 NHL games, 4 NBA games, and 15 baseball games. We're going to take apart a whole lot of them. It's Wager Talk Today. I'm Lawrence Prezman. How do you bet the card? Well, we're going to find out. We got Gianni The Greek joining us, Andy Lang coming on, Adam Trigger with some baseball bets, Skee Profit. He'll take apart 3 of the NBA games, and we're going to end the show with Carmine Bianco and some NHL. Blocked wants to hear about my NHL. No worries. The show's called The Blue Line. It's up. Go check it out. I take apart all 4 games. Gianni The Greek, 4 days left with me. Gianni, how you doing, brother?
Good, my man. Good. Came off a split. I should have won last night, turned a little profit, instead lost a little juice because I split my bet with Golden State. I put half on the money line, half at -4. And I really, if I would have waited for -3.5, I'd have bought the hook because it's worth like 22 cents. And they usually charge me only 120, 121. And I would have pushed and won. But, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You learn something every day. Every day you do.
Well, let's learn something right now then. So you're saying that -3.5 to -3 in basketball is worth 22 cents.
Well, 12 cents over the 10 that you have to pay.
Right. Yes. 12 cents extra.
Yes.
So it is advisable to our clients to buy from 3.5 to 3 in basketball.
Yeah, as long as they're not paying more than 122, they're good. You know, most books are now catching on to it. They're charging me, I see, like 125, so I just pass. But I still have enough credit shops that just do 10 cents in NBA and everything. In college basketball, you know what I mean? They just automatically do 10 cents. Unlike football, where everybody's adjusted for the 3 and 7, you almost never get a discount. It's almost never worth buying it, even though it makes you feel a little better.
So what other numbers is worth buying in basketball?
5, definitely 5.
So off of 5.5 to 5.
Yep. 5's one also that's worth about 12 cents, 11 to 12 cents, and they only charge you 10 cents. Those are 2 right around there. The 3, 4, and 5, I'm always going to buy that hook because it's always more, at least the credit shops, you're always getting like a penny less, 2 cents less than you should. And anytime you could get the best, even if you're getting even, it's a good bet. You know what I mean?
So are you doing
no, I'm
this?
getting better. I'm able to get better. Like I should be paying 121, 122, and I'm paying -120. You know what I mean?
Guys, take note to what Gianni is saying. This is very important stuff. Those 1-2%.
It makes the difference between a push and a win so many times.
So are you buying up too? Are you going from 3.5?
Yeah. Like if it's 3.5, I'll take it to 4.
What about 2.5 to 3?
And no, from 2.5, I'll take it up to 3 for sure. And I also will correlate with the total as well. Like if it's a lower total, I'll feel more confident doing it, even though obviously that it doesn't say to do that in the program that I have that tells you what the numbers are worth. But I've just learned from experience, the lower the points expected, the more each point's worth. So you would think the lower the total, the more it's advantageous to do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is great stuff, Gianni. I got to tell you, man, you should do a show on this alone. You should do it across all the sports. Knowing how much half points are is crucial, is absolutely crucial, Gianni. This is, to me, one of the most important topics out there for 2 reasons. The first reason is people need to know when to buy, but more importantly, they need to know when not to buy.
And especially in NBA playoffs where the lines are so tight, like every half point does matter more than the regular season. You know, we always talk about the end of the season, lines are tighter, especially when you get to the postseason. You want to know what the half point's worth and to take advantage of it when you can. It's going to look, it made the difference for me yesterday. You know what I mean?
You should definitely do a show on this. You could even do it as one of your live steam room shows. This is a crucial topic. Guys, if you like what you're hearing, hit that like button, please. Greatly appreciated. Make sure to comment. Lots of love yesterday, Gianni. I mentioned that this will be my last week hosting Wager Talk Today, and Andy Lang is taking over. A lot of people wrote some beautiful things in the comment section. One person did not, and I feel sad for that person. It takes a lot of poison, a lot of you got to be a very poisoned person
Yeah.
inside to take time out of your day to insult other people. I get it and I respect it. And I'm glad that they do that and it makes them feel good. Like it's that fleeting sniff of, cocaine, if you will. It's like I'll insult someone else and then I have this moment of happiness. So I'm glad that I'm there for them. Anyway, 4 NBA games. What is the Steam report on those?
All right, here's what's going on in the NBA. The only move that I saw from sharp bettors was the LA Clippers from -1 to -1.5. And that's a 2-2 series. You know what I mean? That Clippers one is the Clippers have been covering 3 of the 4 games so far. Wasn't surprised to see that the sharp bettors get out ahead of the public because that's what they're betting as well. When I look at the public tonight, they're on the Clippers heavy. That's the most one-sided, followed by the Pacers, followed by the Celtics. And here's the thing you got to remember. Those teams up 3-1, okay? Indiana, New York, Orlando. Forgive me. I mean, the Celtics. Oh, they also took Orlando. Forgive me. Orlando plus the 12.5 and plus 12 on Orlando. Oh, laid the 5 on the Knicks and the 6.5 and 7 on Indiana. And here's why. They got out ahead on Indiana and the New York Knicks because it kind of makes sense. I feel a little more comfortable on the money line, especially if you get a good price. Because here's why. Those teams up 3-0, playing 3-1, forgive me, playing this game at home like they're playing, they win 8 out of 10 times historically in this first round. They've been money. They've shut it out 80% of the time. So like a team like New York, where you got to lay 225, Indiana, you could even lay 355. The break even at 80% is -400. Now, every game is different. Every matchup is different than history, but at least history tells you that underdogs in this spot have not performed well. Like they haven't been able to make it 3-2 and bring the series back home very often. And they shouldn't in the first round. We know that's where the most inferior teams are. So many make the playoffs in the NBA. So you expect that to happen. You shouldn't expect the dogs to really win this first series. And that's exactly what you're seeing with Indiana, New York, and Boston up 3-1, 80% historical probability that they close it out tonight. That's why you're being asked to lay this kind of a price. Sharps that did want to bet it, they got out ahead. Since then, it's been the public laying the points on every favorite, except, like I said, the Sharps did take the Orlando Magic, getting the 12.5 in that game, which I think they're 2-2, right? Or no, 3-1. No, 3-1. Orlando, Boston's what, 3-1, but 2-2 ATS. They've split so far ATS, where with Indiana and New York, they're up 3-1 straight up and up 3-1 against the spread. But Orlando has at least covered 2 of the 4 games.
Gianni The Greek joining us, everyone. Couple of things. Carmine Bianco in the chat room. He says he's betting Sandman to win the Kentucky Derby. Guys, tomorrow, Sean Alvarez will be joining us. We're going to do a deep dive into the Kentucky Derby. There's already a video up from the great Marco D'Angelo that is focused on the Kentucky Derby. Gianni, do you have anything for us on an event where we whip animals while they run around a track?
No. I do bet the big races, the 3 per year, the Breeders, the Kentucky Derby, just out of action, like a gambler. I have gamble in me and I love to bet those, but I don't bet the horses. Back in the day, I tried to dig into that and I learned 2 very important lessons. Number 1, you have to be very, very, very connected to make money betting horse racing, meaning you got to know jockeys, you got to know trainers, you got to know owners. That's the only way to make money of particular tracks where they have, a lot of muscle. And then number 2, the hold is so high in horse racing that almost nobody beats it. There's been a couple groups that do beat it. One's very famous. They live over in Asia right now. It's this guy who came out with this algorithm probably 20 plus years ago. And I'm talking, they made hundreds of millions of dollars beating horse betting. Other than that group, I've never heard anybody today in 2025 beating horse racing, except, like I said, those specialists that's this one group that's famous for it. And it's this one guy who's a mathematician, and that was his thing, horse racing. and he beat it, and he beats it today from what I hear. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, listen, beating a horse is what they do, Gianni. You call it horse racing, I call it horse beating.
Abuse.
Yeah, complete. But I got in trouble like a month ago for insulting the NBA and talking about how stupid that timeout rule is when they move the ball down the field. But hey, this is my last week, so
say what you want. Say what you want, bro. What are you going to do? Get fired?
I don't exactly. I don't understand. I don't understand horse beating at all, Gianni. I don't get it. Okay, let's turn our attention to some hockey. What's the Steam report giving us there?
Favorites. Here's what's going on. Now, Toronto and LA, right? Let me see.
Toronto is playing Ottawa.
No,
like Toronto and LA Kings.
And Carolina, forgive me. Toronto and Carolina are up 3-1.
Yep.
Those teams, when playing at home, they've won 7 out of 10 times. So no surprise. So both of them are getting over 90% of the tickets and close to 99% of the money. It's all Toronto. It's all Carolina. Straight bets, parlays, parlayed with NBA favorites. Like they're parlaying it with the money line in Boston. You know what I mean? Thinking Boston 12-point favorite. They're not going to lose that game. They're adding like Indiana to that as well. But Toronto, Carolina, heavy. And then Vegas and the LA Kings, those are 2-2. Also, those teams playing at home win this game close to 75% of the time. So I wasn't surprised. The only sharp bet that I saw was in an account that bet the LA Kings. They laid 120 on LA. Not another bet on top of it. Didn't bang out every limit through every shop. But they do have a ticket with LA at -120 in the account. Everything else is going to be public money related. And like I said, it's Toronto, it's Carolina, and it's even LA. The one that they're not really heavy on is Vegas. I think they're like afraid of Minnesota, I think, because that opening game was close and stuff. Yep. But for some reason, that's the least bet of the favorites. I'm talking about 6 out of 10 bets.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me.
And that's it.
Gianni, that makes a lot of sense to me for a few reasons. Number one, it is a seriously juicy favorite. Now, I understand Carolina is even juicier, but man, Minnesota already beat Vegas in Vegas. The series is tied 2-2. Minnesota won 2 of the last 3 and took the last game to overtime. I personally think there's a ton of value on Mini. I know there's money coming in on Vegas right now. But, here you have a situation where this Minnesota team has shown that they can hang and they got to feel good about themselves. And what people need to remember is coming in to the playoffs, the last month or so, Minnesota was seriously injured. So it wasn't like the real Minnesota Wild that we saw prior to that, where they were equally as good as Vegas. This is a pick'em series to me now. I think there's a lot of value on Minnesota. So I understand where the sharps are coming. And I agree with that Toronto-Carolina parlay. So that's good stuff.
What about what they're on? And history supports it, that they should get the job done at home. Real quickly, Antoine, because I like to try to answer any questions or any comments just to address. All I can tell you is what I'm seeing in the back end. It's very early. Keep in mind, it's only 9 a.m. Pacific out here. So things can change between now and tip-off. But when you see that heavy, Antoine, I'm talking it's the heaviest bet. Like the Clippers game has more volume than the Celtics game, the Knicks game, the Pacers game. All those are earlier, but this one's already bet. And it's 80%. Like right now, it's like 84 exactly % of the tickets and even more of the money for whatever reason on the Clippers. And the spread reflects that. I mean, they opened as an underdog. They're now the favorite. So it's definitely the most one-sided bet NBA game. That line's moved more or less the most. And they've covered 3 or 4. I mean, Denver got their first cover in that last game. So I'm not surprised to see the early public money come in on them. We'll see if that changes. Between now and tip-off, that may change because it is a coin flip, and you don't expect that, Antoine. When it's like -1, -2, you expect it closer to, 60-40 towards the favorite. but not this heavy. So you're right. We may get a lot of Denver money coming late. And if they're getting more points, why not? If you like Denver, you're probably waiting. If you saw you could get +1, now 1.5, you're like, oh, wait, maybe if I wait, I'll get 2.5. So maybe the Denver money does come in late, but early it is Clippers.
A few more minutes with Gianni the Greek. Guys out there, most of you know I announced yesterday, this is my last week hosting Wager Talk Today. The great Andy Lang will be taking over. Not to worry, everybody. I know people are saying, oh, we're going to miss you, Prez. Oh, where are we going to hear your quirky nonsense? I got my own show coming. I'm hoping to announce the format tomorrow. I don't know if I can yet, but I do have my own show coming. So I've already been told I can't call horse racing, horse whipping when Marco D'Angelo is on. I can on my own show. I also can't insult basketball. I can on my own show. I also can't give out book picks or movie picks or television show picks. I can on my own show. I even wrote the top 50 greatest songs of all time. Want to hear it? You can hear it on my own show. So that is why we're doing my own show. Gianni, real quick, baseball, and it's $5 Tuesday.
Mine.
What do you got for the club?
Yeah, my play will be up in the next 30 minutes. I mean, it's because I like both NBA and I like Major League Baseball. I'm trying to choose which 4% to give. That's the only thing holding back, because I could have easily already put out an MMA play, because I do have 2 4% MMA plays, a 5% MMA, and a 3% MMA already for that Saturday package. I send the UFC betting notes every week. Prez, if you ever watch the UFC and as the fighters walk into the octagon, you'll see after they put his name on next to it, they'll write, he's 4-1 as a dog, average closing line is this. That comes straight from this guy. I could show you the last 3 years. I swear to you, every week I send them notes on every fight, like detailed notes. I use it for my own handicapping, so it helps me and for the shows.
Brilliant.
But they choose one of the betting tidbits that I put in there and use it for the show. If you could believe that. So I'll have something up for sure. Real quickly, I know we're at a pinch for time because there's a lot of good guys coming in. Thank you, Block. Love you, brother. Best of luck to you today. Here's some baseball. 954 Pittsburgh, +135, +130. 966 Minnesota, Cleveland, over 8.5, over 8, forgive me. Good to -120. 972 Toronto, +130, +125. All 976 Houston, -110, -115. And then 978 Seattle for -170. Every 5 cents they were betting it, all the way up to -185. And you guys are awesome. For Prez's announcing last week, let me throw out, I'm going to give them, since they're going to buy the $5 play for me later anyway, I'm going to give them a free $5 play in MMA. You ready for this one? First fight of the night in the UFC. Now on Saturday night, I gave Juliana Miller, that's correct, Juliana Miller, +210. She's probably around +200 now. Our bets early usually get some respect. If you could get 2-1 on her or better, it's a great, great bet. She's probably going to lose this fight. 6 out of 10 times you will throw that ticket away, but we're getting paid as if you're going to throw it away close to 7 out of 10 times. That's where the difference comes in. 6.5 out of 7. We got an edge with her. She should be, honestly, probably about +150, where she does win this fight 4 out of 10 times. It's not a coin flip, but it should be 60-40, not 67-33, or we had it at close to 70-30. So Juliana Miller, +210, live dog Saturday night. Don't kill me if she loses. +200s don't win all that often, but she shouldn't be +200.
There we go. Gianni the Greek, everyone. Thanks for doing this. Guys, it's $5 Tuesday. We got Adam Trigger still to come. Skee Profit, Andy Lang, and Carmine Bianco. This show is so young right now. Tons of betting information coming your way. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe to our channel. It's $5 Tuesday. Who do you play on $5 Tuesday? Well, you play me. Why? Because I have an NHL play up tonight, and my NHL is literally like when you rain money at a strip joint. I've never done that. I would do it. It sounds like a fun night. But no, I need you to give me the money because I ain't using my money to do that. But anyway, I digress. I won my NHL play last night. I'm now on a 4-0 run. I'm 8-2 in the NHL playoffs. I am on a 10-2 and 23-9 NHL run. I'm the number one NHL expert since the day NHL started in September of 2024. My play is up. It's $5. Please take advantage of that. Andy Lang, you're getting a lot of love, bro. A lot of great comments about you taking over the show. You must be super excited. Look, there's a lot of love for me leaving too, so I'm appreciative of that. But yeah, man, lots of love yesterday, over 50 comments. So you got to be pretty excited.
I'm excited. Like I said yesterday, I'm literally excited for everybody. I'm excited. I'm as excited for you as I am for me, because I know how much you have wanted your own show to do the topics you wanted. I've told you should be doing this. So it's all positivity. It's great. Can I address one thing in the comments real quick? Somebody said something about me not being transparent about Saturday. We had a bad Saturday. Listen, I want to address it because it's a real comment. Every Monday in our Discord and on social media, we do a week recap of all of our bets and all of our units. And then at the end of the month, we do a recap as well. I try and be as transparent as possible. I don't really talk about 1 days or 2 days unless I'm specifically asked about it. Why? Gianni does a good job of saying this. I can't guarantee I'm going to win on 1 day, but we're profitable 15 out of 18 months. You give us the 7 days, you give us those 30 days, and that's where we really, do our damage. So I will try and be a little bit better on transparency, but if I got to defend myself, how many people every week and at the end of the month give you a full breakdown of all all the sports and all the units? But we'll continue to keep getting better. Transparency is a real issue in this business. We recognize it. We understand it. We're trying to get better, and we're always working to improve. So, so just wanted to address that in the comments. I read it. I heard it. So I just wanted to respond and let you know it's noted.
So, Andy, listen, you're going to have the microphone for a long time. We have Adam Trigger up next. Adam sleeps with microphones. He wakes up at around 3 a.m., talks into a microphone for 2 hours, and then goes back to bed. So understanding that the most loquacious man who is desperately in love with microphones is up next, please just give your picks out and let's move on.
Yeah, good. I got a repairman sitting outside waiting for me to get done. All right, let's do this. We're going to start with Tyrese Halliburton over, not his assists. We're going over his rebounds. Prez, these numbers are crazy. Tyrese Halliburton is averaging 7 rebounds per game in this series, but he's only getting 9 rebound chances per game. But the books are just not a believer in this. So I'm going to take Tyrese Halliburton over 4.5 rebounds. No Dame. I'm wondering how many missed shots they're going to have. The Milwaukee Bucks are going to have tonight. So going to be a lot of rebound chances. Milwaukee's 26th in allowing rebounds to point guard. So we'll keep riding the streak of Halliburton. NHL, Victor Arvidsson, I talked about this with you on Blue Line, over 1.5 shots on goal, 2 or more in every game this series. He's getting 5.1 shot attempts, 2.6 shots on goal per game, and he's gone over in all 8 games he's played the Kings. Incredible stat there. And then we're going to go to golf. I'm not going to bore you with a ton of stats, but if you go to the nationality props, take a look at who's going to be the top German, and we can get Steven Jaeger at plus 130. So again, look at your nationality props. This is for the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, Steven Jaeger plus 130. Not going to bore you with stats. Jaeger has finished 20th and 11th the last 2 years here. He's going up against 3 guys in the category. These guys have either never played here or they've missed the cut. None of them have made the cut here. He's plus 0.94 strokes gained this year. He's 0.07 total strokes gained clear of everybody in there. So plus money on this is really good. So Halliburton over his rebounds, Arvidsson over 1.5 shots, and Steven Jaeger to be the top German 3 plays for you guys to look at today.
And your $5 Tuesday?
We're going to the NBA. I haven't been playing this guy because I've been waiting for the right spot, and I get plus money on this player prop. So I am like head over heels in love with this $5 play. The plus money price or even price, depending on your book, is too good to pass up. Really happy with the line. Number 1 in NBA props this year. We brought in 33 units. That's what I specialize in. It's been an absolutely fantastic NBA year, start to finish for me. So yeah, $5. We're going in the NBA. We've got PFL pack that is up as well. And we still got 30% off 365 days.
Andy freaking Lang, everybody. Andy will be back tomorrow. He's got one day off, and then he will be hosting the show on a Monday moving forward. Make sure to put down in your calendar, guys. Lots of stuff is happening this Friday. 1 p.m. Eastern on Friday will be the live version of the Blue Line Hockey Betting Podcast. We're getting rave reviews on this show. It's me, Matthew Barnaby. Andrew McGinnis will be joining us. Same with Andy Lang and a couple of other NHL, ex-NHL players. And number 2, Friday show will be WagerTalk Today, hosted by Teddy and the Prez. We're going back to the beginning. So Teddy will be with us. We're going to do a What Did Bettors Learn? We're going to do all the old stuff. Why not? Let's have fun. Adam Trigger joining us. What's up, bro?
What's going on? I'm looking forward to you having your own show, Prez. That's going to be entertaining, to say the least.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, Ad, and hopefully you'll join us. Great stuff, you and the pimp on your baseball show.
Someone in the comments was like, "Who's that guy in the middle? Like, looks like a drug dealer." I was like, "First-time viewer." First-time viewer right there.
He looks more like a human trafficker than a drug dealer, no?
I was just like, instantly, I was like, first-time viewer. Like, that's how he shows up every single show. So, yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, I have a baseball show Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday morning. It's live, 9 a.m. It's myself, the infamous Tokyo Brandon. Not infamous. He's the man. And Brian Leonard. And we have no format. We go strictly off of the chat. So you fire off questions, Major League Baseball games you want to hear about. We dig into it and we go for an hour. And we typically are right. We get to an hour and we probably could go for another 30 minutes. But I've been told to keep it to an hour. So we go for an hour 3 times a week. A lot of good info.
Well, and it's a really fun show, guys. Make sure to check that out. God, the Wager Talk YouTube channel is getting bigger. It's getting better. I'll just wait till what's coming. Okay, let's get into some actual betting information. We got the Baltimore Orioles with a horrible start. This is a team that had a great trajectory and everyone expected a lot coming into the season. They're 11-17. They're at home. They're playing the 17-12 New York Yankees. The Yankees are minus 145, Baltimore plus 120. The dime line is gone. Look at that. It's like freaking 27 cents off or something. Who knows? How do we bet this?
You're right, Prez. Orioles are off to a really bad start this year. And I think this is where we have to kind of, look at that and see if there's something we can take advantage of. I will talk about just Orioles' bad start can be attributed to 0 starting pitching whatsoever, but they've also really struggled offensively. And I think that's the part that maybe is like small sample size related and probably changes going forward. So, the Orioles, it's almost like the saying when a shooter in like the NBA, like one of your best shooters just can't hit a shot. They need to see one go in. I feel like that's what the Orioles needed. They just needed something good to happen. And last night, that something did happen for them. They win 4-3. The big hit has eluded them, really, like a lot of this season. They get the 3-run home run from Ryan O'Hearn, and they're able to make that hold up 4-3 win. I think the Orioles just needed to see one go through the hoop, if you will. Yeah. And I think this is a team that, in certain situations, you can look to plan, especially if they're going to be an underdog at home. Plus 135 some places, Prez, plus 130, plus 135. I think that they're probably undervalued, but you have to acknowledge the pitching struggles and what the pitching setup is. So in this case, I don't think it's that bad. You got Kyle Gibson making his 2025 debut. Now, he's been in AAA rehabbing for about a month. This is a guy that's been in the league for 12 years. Really nothing special, but he's been pretty good against this Yankee lineup. 181 is what the current Yankee roster is hitting against Kyle Gibson, and that's in a 90 at bat sample, Prez. So it's not like, that there's a pretty strong sample of this lineup struggling against this guy. And Gibson can't possibly be worse than anything they've trotted out there to this point in the season. So I don't know if you're getting an upgrade, but it is intriguing that it's his first start of the year and the Yankees don't have great numbers against him. Where the Orioles do have some pitching is the bullpen. Like Felix Bautista is probably the second best closer in the league right now behind Mason Miller. Yenner Cano's been very good. The problem is they just haven't had many leads. So these two really haven't gotten to show their full value because Baltimore's been behind so often. but they've also been behind because they haven't been able to hit. And I actually think this sets up as a nice spot for them to keep this offense going. Now, you're going to hear people say all day, the Orioles can't hit left-handed pitching. They've been horrible against left-handed pitching. It's 3 weeks into the season. This team is far better against left-handed pitching overall than they have been to start this year. And you've got a lefty in Rodon who's been very, very good, but got blown up twice by the Orioles last year. So you've got guys in this Orioles lineup, It's Gunnar Henderson, a 655 OPS. We know that's not going to last. That's going to be much better than that. Adley Rutschman, 683. He's likely going to be better than that. Ryan Mountcastle, Heston Kjerstad haven't hit at all. I mean, they're both under 200. So there's a lot that I think can start to improve for the Orioles offensively. And if you get a reasonable pitching matchup, Gibson's a good matchup. Didn't really burn out the bullpen yesterday. I think there's going to be spots to take the Orioles as a dog. So this is a live one tonight, in my opinion. Orioles plus 135, and even maybe look at the run line. Plus 1.5 is only minus 115, minus 120. I think they're going to be right in this game with the Yanks tonight.
Awesome. One of our listeners writes, this is an awesome show if you like baseball. Titans. We got Skee Profit coming up next. We're going to take apart all 4 NBA games. We're going to take apart 2 NHL games. This show is so far from over. With that said, hit that like button, everybody. Guys, I'm absolutely dominating baseball so far. I won again last night. The reason I say this is Adam Trigger is going to take apart the Arizona-New York Mets game. I have a client play on this very game. I'm going to give it away free after Adam Trigger also dominating baseball, 36-24-1 in his last 60 MLB releases. What's going on for your $5 play, and what other promo do you have going? And then let's take apart that D-backs Mets game.
Yeah, so the promo I have going that I really want to talk about is my full baseball season. It's over 50% off. So that's going to be from now through Wednesday night. It'll be the lowest price that I'm able to sell it at all season. And after Wednesday, that promo is done. So that's, the best thing I'm going to have available probably for a while. It comes out to about $2 a day. My last 60 baseball releases, 36-24-1. That's 60%, 39.69 units. And we're just grinding away at baseball every single day. As far as $5 Tuesday, I'm either going to use the MLB play, assuming I play one. That isn't the Orioles. If I do get involved in that Orioles game, I'm just going to give it out for free. I'm not going to come here, talk about it, and then make you pay for it. So if I do play in that game, I'll just use the KBO play, which will go Wednesday morning. We'll get something up for $5 Tuesday. But the full season special is as good of a special offer I'll have on the full season, probably for the rest of the year.
Okay, Mets, Arizona. What do you like?
Well, I hope I'm not against you here, but I will preface this by saying I'm looking at the Diamondbacks as an option at some point in this series, and I will talk about why I think they are a little bit of value here and some of the things I'm looking for with this team. So they lost 4 games in a row going into Sunday, snapped that 4-game losing streak on Sunday against the Braves. One of the big things that was a part of that 4-game skid, Prez, was the Diamondbacks had some real bullpen issues. AJ Puck, he's going to be out long-term. That was a shock to the system when he went out. And then they decided that they needed to give Justin Martinez about a week off for a tired arm, wanted to make sure that they weren't going to send him to the IL, which would have been a disaster. He came back over the weekend, looked good, pitched twice against the Braves. And I'm still very, very concerned about the Diamondbacks bullpen, but they had the day off yesterday, so at least you know that you're going to get your kind of your top arms here. The one thing I do really like about Arizona here is the fact that they have smoked left-handed pitching like for a couple of years now. So I'm not even worried about what they've done this year because this same group of guys has been raking against lefties for a long time. And they're, of course, up against the lefty here tonight in David Peterson. Now, Peterson's a guy I do like. Personally, I'm higher on him than most, but I couldn't help but notice that whip is in the 1.4 range, 1.43. And the last few games, he's really lived on the edge here, Prez. Yeah. 7 hits against the A's, only gave up 2 runs. 7 hits against the Cardinals, only gave up 3 runs. 8 hits against the Phillies, only gave up 2 runs. He's really been a hit or two away from giving up the big inning for a while now. And I'll go back to the fact that this Diamondbacks lineup, very good against left-handed pitching. Eduardo Rodriguez, not someone I'm personally like super high on. I don't know if you'll ever get the Erod from 2022, 2023, that breakout he had with the Tigers, but he's still a solid veteran. He can still be very good on a given day. And I guess I'll just point out with the Mets, they've started off so hot. They're 20-9, that they're just at the absolute peak of the market right now. So I look at this and see, like, you're getting a very, very good Diamondbacks team. One that I'm high on, one that's probably going to get Ketel Marte back at some point this week, which is going to be huge when he comes back. I just think plus money on the D-backs in this setup, top bullpen arms rested, and the fact that they might hit Peterson makes them a live dog on Tuesday night.
There we go. Adam Trigger, everyone. Okay, so my pick, and I'm going to read my analysis exactly off the page, the way I gave it to my clients. Diamondbacks, New York Mets, I like the over tonight, 8.5. And firstly, we got some interesting weather for this game in Citi Field. Temperatures around 70, double-digit winds blowing out. Double-digit winds blowing out. Very important component to the handicap. Both teams have been over ATM machines lately. The New York Mets, they scored nearly 20 runs yesterday alone. Both these starting pitchers are lefties. Arizona was one of the top 3 teams in all of baseball last year hitting lefties. Not this year. I expect a starting pitcher regression to the means with Arizona. I think they are due for a positive regression hitting lefties. I think they're going to get some runs. And the New York Mets, they crush lefties. Look for runs tonight. I like the over in this game. Skee Profit joining us. Some NBA talk coming your way. 4 games. We're going to go through them all. I know I didn't put down the Detroit game, but we're going to go through that too. How are you, my brother?
Oh, I can't complain. Another day above ground is always a good one. How about yourself?
You know, Skee, it's funny you say that because about 2 years ago, I would have said, well, those are really, really shitty expectations to live your life by. You know, you say to somebody, oh, how's your day going? I woke up. Today's amazing. I would be like, try to have higher expectations in life than that. But that was 2 years ago. The joke was on me. I realized as I age that the lower your expectations are, the greater room for happiness.
Very
so
true.
The fact that you are happy just by waking up is a great start to your morning. I would have mocked you 2 years ago. Now I get it. I understand it. And I am with you. With all that said, let's get into some NBA, brother. We got 4 plays tonight. Milwaukee playing Indiana. Let's start there. Indiana -8, total of 2.5. Milwaukee, well, they can't get out of their own freaking way. How are you handicapping this one?
Yeah, McKinnis actually reminded me of this saying from Teddy Covers. It seems like almost, when a team is dead, they're dead. And that's kind of what we see from Milwaukee. Down 1-3, going back to Indiana, 2 teams who really don't like each other. Damian Lillard has torn his Achilles now. We know Glenn Rivers, Darvin Ham, not the best of coaches for Milwaukee. I mean, what do you think is really going to change here? Giannis has gone off pretty much every game, and they're still down 3-1. So we know it's personal. Indiana's the kind of team who will run up the score just like last game. They play fast. They won't stop. I would only look towards the Indiana side. And if I have to look at the total, I understand that Lillard is not there. But, ending the season, they went over, I believe, 6 or 7 of 8 games without Lillard. They're fine playing without him. They just swing the ball a little bit more. And the pace that both of these teams play at, I just cannot bet an under. So I disagree with the line move down. I would be bucking it and going over or betting Indiana.
There we go. Skee Profit joining us. 3 to go. 3 more NBA games to go. 2 NHL games coming up. Also, really quick, guys, I did forget to mention, I will be on WagerTalk Today once a week until the NHL playoffs end. I will be joining Andy as a guest, and I will be talking NHL. Okay, Skee, New York Knicks playing Detroit Pistons. The Knicks -5.5 tonight. A low total of 214.5, and totally understandable given that we saw a 94-93, 1982 Bill Laimbeer type game last outing. And also 3 games ago, 194 points total. We've had 2 games go over substantially and 2 games go under substantially. Where you going here, bro? Are you looking at the total or the side, and which one?
Well, for one, you're right. As far as like Bill Lambert style, I read something that said this is the least amount of foul calls they've been calling in NBA playoffs over, decades. So it's the kind of basketball we like to see, not the soft basketball. And honestly, first I have to say this: I don't have to bet this game. I already have Knicks -1.5 for the series, so I just need them to win. Now, with that said, I don't know. Even if I didn't have that bet, I don't know that I would bet the Knicks -5.5.
Yeah.
They can win and still not cover. We've seen a couple games come down to the wire. And because Detroit kind of got screwed in that last game, like the call to end the game, I think they'll get a friendlier whistle here tonight. So my recommendation would be, if you like Detroit, I would take them probably first half, because we've seen also more than one time they play a good 24 minutes and then the experience for New York just takes over in the second half and they can't withstand. So Pistons first half will be my recommendation in this one. I don't feel very strong about the total.
Hit that like button, everybody. Skee, before we get into the next two games, it's $5 Tuesday. I've got an NHL play up for my clients. I'm guessing you don't. What do you have going for your clients?
No, I'm leaving the ice to you, McKinnis, and Carmine, and all those good guys. For myself, I did play a 4% play in the association. You can go back all the way till 2000 or I don't know, I think it's 2023. Anyway, I think it's 43-16. My last 59 4% plays are higher in the NBA playoffs. So I have one that I really like tonight, and you can get it for just $5.
Skee Profit joining us. Skee, a 197.5. What era are we in? That's the total on the Boston Orlando game. And let me tell you, it went under that total twice already this series. We had a 95-93 upset win by Orlando. Boston up by 3-1 in the series. The line here is huge, 11.5. With that said, Miami decided to not show up last night. I was on the over in that game. Is Orlando done? Do we bet Boston and hold our nose?
I don't know that I'm running to the window to bet Boston. I mean, Orlando has shown they can be at least a little competitive. Like, a lot of these games were semi-close, and then Boston kind of ran away at the end. But even if you look at them, the last three games, plus 11.5 would have covered for Orlando. So I think it's a little bit too much for a Boston team who Tatum still dealing with the, banged up wrist. Jaylen Brown also banged up. Holiday, I don't believe, is playing. I think it's too much to lay in a desperation spot for the Magic when they've already been playing, kind of competitive. So I think the other way, Magic plus the points. And as far as the total, I mean, yeah, it's low. But that last game, we just saw it go over, and neither team shot 30% from three. Both teams are capable of getting to the free throw line. If Boston heats up, they can shoot with the best of them from 3-point. I'm not running to the window to bet under. I'll say this. For over bettors, we've seen a couple times for the Celtics, like the first half, cruising,
Yeah.
and the second half just slows to a crawl. So I think for over bettors, I would recommend first half. And if I'm making a full game wager, it is Magic plus the points.
There we go. Skee, last game, LA Clippers playing Denver. And man, we got another 2-2 series. Denver winning by 2 against the Clippers in the last game. How are we betting this one, man? It's -1.5. If you do decide to bet the Clippers at -1.5, take the money line at -130. Much better bet. Total again low, 208.5. Fill us in.
Yeah, well, the first thing that stands out to me here is, like you said, it's a tied series, and you have the road team as the favorite. I mean, we all know how important it is for Game 5 in a tied series. Historically, the team that takes the 3-2 lead wins slightly above 85% of the time for the series. So naturally, it's a little bit uncommon for the road team to be favored in this spot. The past 23 years, we've seen it 10 times. So that's the first thing that stands out to me. Then I look a little bit closer. I mean, this is still a Nuggets team that fired their coach before the playoffs. So the longer the series goes on, in my opinion, the coaching advantage goes more and more towards the Clippers. They may not have the best individual player. We know how great Jokic is, but I think they have the better team. And I think they've been playing the better basketball from the end of the season until now. You look at Michael Porter Jr. banged up for the Nuggets. Russell Westbrook banged up. We're not sure if he's going to play. Also, the Nuggets have been playing 4 out of 5 starters, like 40 plus minutes. I just think the Clippers a little bit deeper. They're healthy. They're fresher. They're better. I think the Clippers can win this game.
There we go. Skee Profit. Outstanding stuff. Craziest firing ever. I don't know what Malone did. I think he had sex with Booth's wife or something.
Something.
I mean, that is just nuts. Anyway, Skee, thanks for doing this, man. Love having you on. We'll see you again soon. Keep winning. Thanks for being here. Carmine Bianco, some NHL talk right now. Guys, if you want to hear my NHL opinions, they are up on the Blue Line. And that show is wonderful. I think today it was only like 12 or 13 minutes long. We're getting rave reviews. You can find that over at WagerTalk TV. So I am not going to give out any opinions here. I'm literally just going to ask my good friend Carmine what his thoughts are. We're going to look at the Ottawa-Toronto series and the Edmonton-LA series. 20-3 NHL run. Way to time that with your Italy trip, genius.
Hey, listen, I was winning in Italy, so it was great. I had a fantastic time there. Obviously, the time change makes it tough. I'm listening to NHL Network and the games because they're not showing them on TV there at like 1:30, 3:30, the staggered times. It is you can't get away from it, Prez. You know, wherever you are, if you're an NHL fan, you have to either watch it or listen to it. So I had the earbuds in, listening to the games at 1:30 and 3:00 in the morning. So I was pretty happy about it, and the streak kept going on. So it's been a great April. 41 units of profit in the NHL. So let's try and finish strong this month and the Stanley Cup Finals, my friend.
Okay, brother. Well, we've got a ton of money being bet on Toronto, and a ton. This line was minus 163 last night. There's 190s out there. You're heading right into that line move. Tell us why you think Ottawa is the bet.
We're seeing some since I put my plays in our production group. We're seeing some Ottawa money coming in. Ottawa was plus 155 this morning. They are at plus 140 now, and this is one of those ones, Prez. I know all season long I poke fun at Leaf fans. It comes with living in Toronto, but this series, with the exception of Game 1, in which I think Ottawa took a different approach in that game and the series and how to start, and came out and tried to run over the Leafs like they did during the regular season and get physical. And penalties were called. The Leafs power play, you can't put them on the ice. They were just unbelievable in the first 2 or 3 games of this series. Ottawa made the adjustments in games 2, 3, and 4, and we're talking about 3 games that went to OT. You look at the numbers, and I've been using analytics for most of the season, but a lot during the last few weeks, which coincides with this run. You look at Ottawa. They've created 11.09 of XG over those 4 games. They've scored 10 goals. 10 goals over 4 games isn't the greatest, but 3 of them have been low-scoring games. The Leafs have exactly 11.0 XG created, 15 goals scored, obviously overperforming a little bit on their XG. And even if you look at shots on goal, 102 to 99 across the 4 games. Scoring chances, 117 to 99 for Ottawa. High danger chances, 47 to 40 for Ottawa. Ottawa's been playing well in this series. I think taking that approach in Game 1 was a mistake. It's something similar that Toronto did in Game 1 last year against Tampa Bay. If you remember, they tried to run over Tampa Bay. The power play killed them. They allowed 7 goals in that game, and losing to Tampa, made the adjustments and played well the rest of that series. This is one of those ones where you're getting plus 140 in Ottawa, and it's a little unlucky for them because this series could very well be 2-2. You look at even the games that went to OT for the Leafs. Ty Domi's son, Max Domi, scores an OT winner. Simone Benoit scores an OT winner, a shot from the point. They haven't been convincing wins by the Leafs, but they're wins nonetheless. They're up 3-1 in this series. But I think Ottawa can send it back. They have to play another tight defensive game, and you're getting plus 155. That was the earlier price. It's plus 140 now. even the puck line, you can't play it. It's Ottawa +1.5, -190. I would never lay that price, but I would rather have, if this game goes to OT, I'd rather have a team that's +150 on a coin flip, and that's what OTs essentially are, Prez. So I'm taking the Ottawa Senators. I know you don't like that play, but I'm taking the Sens to extend this series to 6 games and send it back to the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa.
There we go. Carmine Bianco, wrong about the Leaf Ottawa game, but that's okay. Maybe he'll be right about the LA Kings Edmonton game. What do you got for us there, brother?
Yeah. I don't make money by betting team names. I bet numbers, and I just think the number is right on Ottawa. If more action comes in Ottawa, then any value is lost in that game. Getting them at +155, which they were on the WagerTalk live screen about an hour ago, or Odds Logic. Get the Odds Logic, and which is a great odds screen where you can see the prices as they change and see where the money is coming in. That is a great idea as well too. You look at this one, and Prez, this is one where I don't know what the LA Kings are doing. This series should have been over. I liked Edmonton last year. I thought they had a chance this year, but my God, this series is tied at 2. And the LA Kings, if they had approached their last couple of games in the third period, where they don't give McJesus, Connor McDavid, the blue line, they just allowed him to, and the Edmonton Oilers, to enter the zone in that third period, and continue to score goals. The Oilers have 18 goals in this series. 11 of them have come in the third period. It is absolutely unbelievable. They've created 15.8 of XG while scoring 18 goals, 14.39 of XG for the LA Kings while scoring 19. Both teams are overperforming right now, and this is why the total is at 6.5, but it's shaded to the under. A couple plays on this is, I think the Kings at home get back to playing defense, get back to clogging up that neutral zone, and we should see a lower scoring game. That's tough to say when you've seen 11-8, 11-7 over the 3 games, and XG numbers of 7.13, 6.15, 7.52, and 9.37, all high numbers. But the LA Kings all season long were a fantastic defensive team. And if you were to take the number of 6.5 and apply to the LA Kings during the regular season, 28 of their 41 games would have gone under the total. And you look at the Edmonton Oilers, 28 of their 41 road contests would have stayed under the total of 6.5. This is not a total you normally see with the LA Kings, but it is a product of what has happened in the 4 games. I would lean under in this game, but I do like the LA Kings. I think they get back to playing that tough defensive game at home where they've been tough all season long. And I will lay the -125 or -130, whatever is up on the screen at the moment with the LA Kings.
Carmine, it's $5 Tuesday. What do you got for the clients?
I have a 5% play up in the NHL.
Wow.
We're going to try and finish the month off strong. Yes. So you can get that for $5. I wanted to put it up as part of customer appreciation as opposed to making it the normal 5% play at $35. So more people can get it at an affordable price. So you can head over to WagerTalk. There's that great deal where you can get 3 weeks of all access. Buy 2 weeks, get a third one free. That's going to cover a lot of the NHL, a lot of soccer, the last 3 weeks of the domestic league seasons in Europe, as well as the Champions League semifinals, which go today, tomorrow, and the Europa League, and then a ton of weekend soccer. You can get all of that as part of that great 21 days all access package for $198.
There we go. The show is done. What a great show. Carmine Bianco, Skee Profit, Andy Lang, Adam Trigger, Gianni The Greek. On behalf of Dan Alexander and myself, we're going to do a deep dive into the NBA card tomorrow and a whole lot of Kentucky Derby. Lots of love, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.